What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, it seems that there was more information. I don't know if this was leaked. I forgot who posted it, but I think that person, I think it was a man, took it down subsequently because the toxic, phony pony hand fanboys, words, were threatening him or bullying him or whatever, so he took it down. But you know, once you put something on the internet, it's not coming down. It's already out there. So basically, what I'm talking about is that it's funny. I think it's in this past fiscal year. I would imagine that's what it was, the latest one. Microsoft was more profitable than PlayStation. I'm sorry, Xbox was more profitable than Sony. Or was it Microsoft was more I don't know. It was Xbox. Xbox was more profitable than Sony. And of course, Nintendo was more profitable than both. But the way that the chart read, right? The revenue, Sony made the most revenue, then Nintendo, I believe, and then Xbox. Or maybe I think Xbox was third and then Nintendo was, as far as the revenue, total revenue. But operating profit, meaning how much money you make after all your bills are paid in a business. You know, you pay your workers, you pay payroll, you pay this, that, you pay all the things, you know, R&D costs, whatever. You pay the light bills, you pay the lunch truck, the roach coach fees, you know, the food truck that pulls up every, got to pay that guy too, you know, all the things you got to pay for. Your profit. The money that you put in your pocket, that you put in the bank, that's like, yo, I'm gonna buy me something with that, because it's profit. Sony made less than Microsoft. Now, you look at the revenue, how the difference in the chart, I'm like, they made 4 times as much revenue as Xbox. But they still didn't make more profit. How does that work? A giant corporation like Microsoft has as a subsidiary, or I don't know, I guess it is a subsidiary. Xbox is a subsidiary of Microsoft. They have Xbox and they're doing their thing. They're doing Game Pass. They're doing this. They're making games. They're doing deals. And it was 1.5 billion, I believe, that Microsoft made. And Sony's was 1.419 or something billion. Now, it is a small number. It's real close. You can even say it's the same, but it's not the same, because in this instance, PlayStation made so much more money revenue-wise. They brought in so much more revenue. You have to ask yourself, where did that money go? How much are they paying for these games? How can a company like Microsoft, who, we ain't got no games, but now we got the biggest game in video games right now at the moment. Got Game Pass, got that stuff coming in. There's a whole bunch of things happening over at Microsoft. They diversified their portfolio in such a way that they're good. I'm sorry, Xbox. I keep saying Microsoft, but Xbox. And so Sony has, besides their artistic problem, I know Colin Moriarty likes to talk about artistic, creative creators and creatives and all this stuff, and all the CEOs and all the leadership, they're not creative. Well, guess what? The people at Sony, at PlayStation, they may be creative, but they're really expensive. And for all the hard work that they're doing, all the creativity that they're paying for, they're not making enough money back. That's why they're changing. That's why all these gas games are coming out, because they can't make the money off of the creativeness of guys like Neil Druckmann, because their games don't make enough money. And this is a prime example. They brought in all this revenue, but they had to pay all this money to make those games. Also, they put out trash hardware that nobody wants to buy. PlayStation VR 2, nobody bought it. What is the last number? What was the last number? I bet you it was the shipped number, and I bet you we'll never know what the actual number. I think it was 200 and something thousand, 270,000. I think they said in the first week or month or something. I'm like, what? That's bad. And so you got that. You got this PlayStation Portal that's gonna fail. It failed on announcement. So it's gonna fail. It's like guaranteed to fail. It's not like, oh, it's a sleeper hit and people, but no one will buy it. No, some people will buy it. Not enough people will buy it. That's the problem. So for whatever money they put into it, it's a loss. So are they just trying to have a tax write-off or something? I don't know what they're doing with these goofy hardware. I don't even know what to call them, because you're like, oh, Sony's creative. They have creativity and they're a hardware company. Guess what? Both of those aspects of Sony, PlayStation, are failing this generation, because the hardware part, they failed on the hardware. Okay, the only reason why they're in the race is because they bought their way in. They paid all these developers money to sabotage, if you will, to code first, to prioritize the PlayStation platform. And what that does in turn, the other versions are gonna suck. And that's not me just making up stuff. Look at the PC versions of these multi-plat games. They're hot trash garbage. And those are the versions that should be the best. And don't talk to me about the I/O and all that. No. PC versions will always be better than the console versions. If these studios put their best foot forward in all these different platforms, PC will always be better. Always. Yes, they have to do some extra work. Yes, it's different. And they're working on some direct storage stuff and stuff like that. But still, without that, it still will be better. I mean, loading times may be a little bit longer, but no. Everything else, Ratchet & Clank proved it that, you don't need the super fast I/O in and out and stuff. You don't need that. You need a nice, juicy graphics card that can handle all that stuff. That's all. But, it's kind of funny to me. It's like I'm looking at Sony, I'm looking at PlayStation, and it's like they're scamming the industry almost with how they're behaving, what they're doing, how they're conducting business. And Microsoft can't sit here and call them out, because that probably doesn't work. It doesn't work in that it would destroy any type of business relations that they have to have business relations, because Microsoft puts games on PlayStation. They could say screw PlayStation, just pull all their games off of PlayStation and just alienate them. And that would be interesting, because that's how it was back in the day. No Nintendo games went to Genesis. And that's the exclusivity type of conversation, but it was different because of the bespoke hardware. The games were inherently different because they had to make new versions of the games for that hardware. So in that respect, it's like, oh, okay, fine. But now that, it is kind of the same. You still have to do bespoke. It's easier because it's similar language, but it's not that similar that they could just press a button and make it happen. And they're doing the bare minimum for the Xbox, and they're doing the maximum for the PlayStation. That's what has been happening this generation so far. And I think that may change a little bit, only if the narrative sticks that Sony's buying all these exclusives. And I don't think about. I think they're still gonna do what they're gonna do. But if Microsoft decides to open up their pockets and say, "Yo, let's go. Let's play this game," and they start buying up these exclusives, or they start counter buying, or however you want to do it, and say, "Oh, okay, Sony's trying to buy this. Let's go. What you got?" Talk to all the companies. Look, if Sony gives you an offer for exclusivity, talk to us. And we'll see if we can come with some more money. We'll come and we'll give it to you. and then it'll be exclusive for us. How about that? How's that sound? And that's not gonna work for every company, because some companies are just, they're fanboys. They're not fanboys. They're just, whatever they are, maybe xenophobic, or they hate Microsoft, or they like Sony better, or they just hate Microsoft so much that anybody else is better, or, whatever. I don't know. People have reasons for doing things that they do. But, yeah. I read that and I was like, wow, I never saw that coming. But when you think about what Sean Layden said, he said that they cannot sustain these games because they cost too much money. This is what he was talking about. Microsoft beat PlayStation with barely any games, comparatively speaking. Or the games that they put out weren't, $200 million. Well, some of them were. Starfield probably was. I mean, it's been in development for a very long time. It's a big game, but it's making its money. It's making it back, and it will make its money for the next 10 years or so. I would say at least until the next generation, and then they're gonna do a remake or a next gen version of Starfield, and we're gonna keep playing this game for probably 2 generations. Probably. I know I will, because it's like I haven't even finished the game once, and I'm like, I'm 50 hours in, and I haven't finished the game yet. I'm like, this is so enjoyable. I can't. The horror of having a good game to play. So many hours to play, and it's like, it's not padded 50 hours. It's not like, I'm gonna do God of War, and then I'm gonna do a BS yak mission that nobody likes. I don't even know what the mission is. I need to go look at the video, see what that one was, because everybody seems to hate the yak mission. I'm like, what? I don't even understand what that is. Yeah, I know what it is. I know what the animal is, but I'm just saying, in context of God of War Ragnarok, why? And so, games like that need padding to make the game longer, to make you feel like it's AAA and B, you get your money's worth. But it's not. When it's filler, it's not your money. You want quality gameplay. You don't want filler. And a lot of these games are filler. If you take out, like I said, the cinematics and all that stuff, how long is that game actually? Take out all the movie stuff, all the cinematics, all the QTEs, how long are those games? Same with Spider-Man. How long is that game? 10 hours, 15 hours maybe? Then another 30 hours of the cutscenes and stuff? I mean, the one glaring obvious example is Kojima's games. The Metal Gear, I think Solid 4 was the worst. It was like 90-minute cut. Are you serious? 90 minutes for a cutscene? Are you serious? Come on, son. I know you want to make movies, but listen, this is not a game now. This is a movie. And people are like complaining and crying to Remedy about their little kind of TV show things put in. I'm like, at least that's a show that it's not a cutscene. It's 90 minutes. Man, like Jeffy said, this formula is garbage. It's trash. It's costing them too much money. It's not the future of PlayStation. What PlayStation built their future on, or built their pedestal on, is not the future. It's rotting wood. It's about to give way. Foundation's about to break. And I know everybody is seeing it right now, especially Sony. They see it. That's why they're doing all these gas games. And I'm like, that's not gonna work either, because that's not what you do. And that's not what your fans want. That's not what the ponies and the Donkey Unicorns want. So you doing that is self-sabotage in a way. Now, some of them will cap for it, even though they hate it. It's just like Baldur's Gate 3. How many people playing it? How many sales? How come we haven't gotten the sales of Baldur's Gate 3 on PlayStation 5? Why? We know that 11 million people are playing Starfield. How many people playing Baldur's Gate 3 on PlayStation? I saw a number that was 2,000, and I'll give them 2,500, something like that. Less than 3,000 people. That was, I think, a day or two after it launched. That was from a PlayStation profile, metrics or something, whatever. So it was showing how many people, I guess, purchased it or something. It's 2,000 people, or how many people were playing it. 2,000 people, that's it. Meanwhile, Starfield got 1 million people playing. 1 million people, it's more than, it's 11 million people have played it, but concurrent players was 1 million. 1 million? It was more than that, it was 2 million, right? I don't remember, doesn't matter. It was more than 200, and it's more than 2,000. But the point is that all this, we sold more units, we did this, we did that. It doesn't matter if you're not making that profit. If you're not making more profit than the guys who you think are in third place, but actually, profit-wise, second place. Smack. Wow, that's hilarious. I want to see the goalpost move. I want to see that now. What are they gonna say now? Oh, you guys don't know how to read charts. Like, you don't know how to read charts. And the guy, that's why he took it down, because he read it wrong. He read it like, PlayStation's, making more money or whatever, and he was like, that's not how it works. Revenue minus cost equals profit, and profit was lower on PlayStation. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Y'all like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know about this revelation that actually Xbox is making more money than PlayStation. Holy crap. Is this the indication of PlayStation actually going down? Like I said before, this generation, PlayStation's gonna slip up a banana peel, fall down the stairs, because they're doing things all wrong. And how do you just be like, how can you just sit there and pretend that this ain't going down? What I want to see, what I want to pay attention to, and you should too, everybody out there, pay attention to those fanboys, those ponies, those donkey unicorns that have YouTube channels that used to be Xbots, now they're ponies, like MBG or Crap Gamer, kind of weird. He's a super flip-flopper anyway, but we can watch him too. He's trying to be neutral at this point, but whatever, I haven't been watching him. We can look at Zaire, Next Gen 720 or whatever he's called now. All these dudes who used to be Xbots and now they're PlayStation dudes. Let's see where they go, because they go where the zeitgeist is. They go where the popular console is. Popular console equals more viewers, equals more money for them. So if and when Microsoft flips it and they become more popular, or it's more of a 50-50, I think more of these guys will become more of a 50-50. Just like Crap Gamer, he started it. He was Xbox, and he went PlayStation. Now he's in the middle, trying to play both sides. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about it. What do you think about Xbox making more money than PlayStation? And appreciate. And I hit y'all up on the next one. And I appreciate. I'm gonna do that now. Until the wait.